What's up, guys? It's Ginge, and today we are going to be talking about Real Madrid. This episode is going to be solely based on Real Madrid today. This is going to be like a little mini episode because obviously we can't do full podcasts week by week every weekend. So what we're going to be doing, I'm going to do like these little mini episodes talking about certain clubs. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. Let's get into this. So, looking at the transfers Real Madrid have done already, we're going to be looking at the players that they sold first. That way we can get that kind of out of the way. They sold Valde. I think it was one of their young players, I don't really know. For about a fee of $9.3 million to Fiorentina. They also sold Fran Garcia to Real Betis for $4.6 million. They also, this is a big shock for me, they officially sold Nico Paz to Como officially. So he's not gonna be have any buy-on clause or any of that kind of stuff. He will be a Como player. I mean, that's a good thing for Como because Como, if I'm not mistaken, Como they're in the Champions League this season. Sorry that took me so long, guys. They are in the Champions League this season. And they're going to want to have a great player in Nico Paz. So having Nico Paz really does help Como for sure. So going back to Real Madrid here, I think that's all the big players they sold. No, I'm completely wrong. Sorry. Gonzalo Garcia to Fulham. Wow, I was not expecting that. He's wow. Okay. I mean, I'm acting like I know. I didn't know. I'm acting like I don't know this. I'm so surprised that they sold him to Fulham. Because, Gonzalo Garcia is, one of the only players out there who's a good young talent, but also a false nine. Or, a legit number 9 striker. And there's not a lot of that in the world of football right now, except for, Haaland and Kane and all that, but they're also getting old. Mainly Kane. And Haaland's Haaland. So, I'm surprised they sold Gonzalo Garcia. They also, David Alaba and Dani Carvajal are going to be a free agent this summer, but I'm not really sure who's really going to start. I mean, David Alaba will probably go to a team like Italian or something like that, but Carvajal, I think he's going to Saudi, because let's be real, what big club wants Dani Carvajal? I'm not taking anything away from Carvajal, but it's just dude, he's 34, bro. Let Unk retire. Okay. And obviously, well, now. Dani Ceballos also leaving as a free agent. Forgot to mention that. I think I mentioned all the other ones. Okay. Now looking at the players they bought. They bought Ibrahima Konate from Liverpool for free. And honestly, I'm looking at this transfer and I'm like, what exactly does that do for Madrid? Because I don't see him any different to Rudiger. I feel like him, Rudiger, and Konate are almost very the same, or very, very similar to each other. And that low-key just throws me off sometimes. But, I mean, obviously for depth and all that, that's going to be important. They also signed Denzel Dumfries for $23 million. That's a good signing, in my opinion. I don't see people really praising Madrid for that. Because Dumfries, obviously, in the right-back position, they currently have Trent Alexander-Arnold. And Trent Alexander-Arnold did not have a great first season for Real Madrid. So, obviously, having that experience and going forward and defensively could really he could help Trent Alexander-Arnold for sure. They also signed Bernardo Silva on a free transfer. I mean, that's just depth. Madrid desperately need depth. And they're doing it the right way, getting Bernardo Silva. They also signed Cucurella from Chelsea. That is one hell of a signing. Obviously, they spent $64 million on him. I don't know how long the contract is, but it's a big transfer. It's a big transfer for Real Madrid and a really good upgrade in that position for Real Madrid, and that gets that situation sorted out. And another position that's really been not talked about, the number 9 position. They just signed Carlos Espia from Levante, who, if I'm not mistaken, let me look at the stats of this guy real quick. In Levante, he had 13 goals in 11 goals in La Liga, 2 in the Copa del Rey. He had 6, and then the season before that, he had 6 goals in La Liga too, and 2 assists. I mean, this is just a good signing just because, like, there's not really, especially with Endrick now officially leaving, because Zerno Garcia has left. This is a good signing for Real Madrid. And I don't think we'll talk about that. They also, it's a here we go, but I'm not 100% it's happening. I'm not 100% yet. Because, like, I normally wait until the player, like, actually, like, signs a contract and all that. Or, like, when he's in the training out. When it gets to that, that's when I believe it. But it is a here we go on Yan Diomande to Real Madrid, which does scare me. Not because of Real Madrid, and not because of the threat that could be, but I'm scared of the threat it could be toward, where is he on here? Rodrigo. Currently has an ACL injury, and it isn't expected to come back until December. But yeah, no, I don't see how this could be working for Rodrigo, and I can honestly see him not be at Madrid after the end of the season, simply because with Yan Diomande coming and Bernardo Silva. Honestly, I think even at the small, you could say Bernardo Silva is going to be better than Rodrigo. And that's just weird to say. And I generally don't know what Rodrigo is going to do, especially with this ACL injury. But talking about Real Madrid, Rodri is a big talking point in the Spanish club right now because he could be leaving Real Madrid. Sorry. He is rumored to go to Real Madrid for $58 million, and that's honestly not surprising because let's be honest here. Let's be honest. I mean, like, of course Madrid are gonna want Rodri. Why would they not want Rodri? But it's also, it could be scary because, like, imagine this Real Madrid team with Rodri in the team. But something you also got to think about as well is the midfield. Because obviously Valverde and Rodri and Bellingham's the midfield. But then what happens to Arian Tchouaméni? He is heavily linked with Manchester United at the moment. And if Rodri goes to Real Madrid, you're not going to bench Valverde. You're not going to bench Tchouaméni. One of those two have to go. And I don't think Valverde's going to leave. That doesn't really make sense. I think Tchouaméni's leaving. Only if Rodri goes to Real Madrid. If he goes to Real Madrid, Tchouaméni's out the door. Because those two cannot work together in the midfield. Their style of play is too similar. So I don't really know what to think about it because, like, obviously this isn't my club. This isn't, like, I don't, like, look that much deep into it. But just looking at the rumors, looking at the team that they've built so far, I generally don't know how to feel about this Madrid team. And they're also heavily linked with Enzo Fernandez. Now, I'm not 100% if he is going to Madrid. I don't think he'll go to Madrid because of the World Cup he just had. And, you know, he's been really good for Chelsea. He came out of this season. He played 60. Damn. He played 61 games. 16 goals, 10 assists. Wow. I did not know that. I did not know that. But, wow. Okay, that's interesting. But, yeah, I think Real Madrid, I don't know how the season's going to go for them. I see them winning La Liga. I really do. I don't see, especially with how Barcelona are looking like, that will be the next episode. I'm going to be talking about Barcelona. I will put out, like, something, letting you guys know what I'll be posting, because obviously I was going to get messy. But I don't see Enzo Fernandez going to Real Madrid, especially with his contract. He still has like 6 years of, he has 6 years on his contract. I don't think he'll be going to Real Madrid, but they are still linked with them. So I'm not sure what's gonna happen with Enzo, Rodri, Tchouaméni. I'm not 100% what's gonna happen with all that. But yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think Real Madrid could accomplish what they've been trying to do? Because honestly, I don't see it. Because, like, I see them win the league just because Barcelona's defense is not there. Yeah, they have Cucurella, but that's it. Unless they get someone like Laporte or not even John Stones. John Stone's a center. But a center back with experience next to Cucurella, unless they get that, I don't see Barcelona doing much of anything this season. And with Real Madrid, I also don't see them doing that much with this midfield. I really don't. But I think they're going to do good in La Liga because look at them going forward. And I haven't even talked about, I'm sorry for just bringing this up now, I haven't even talked about what could happen with Vinicius Jr. Apparently, I'm not 100%. They've agreed personal terms. I assume that's what I've heard. I'm not, obviously that could be fake. I'm not 100%, guys, okay? But it's just, it's one of those things where, what are Madrid going to do going forward? Yandi Omande, who's that forward's name? I completely forgot about that forward's name. The one that they just signed. Espiza, Mbappe, sorry, Espiza, whoa, that's weird, never mind. Mbappe, Yandi Omande, and Espiza up front? I don't see that much happening. I really don't. I mean, yeah, they're going to cook Barca. Because at this point, any team can beat Barca. Especially with this defense problems. But I don't know. I don't know what to think of this. I think Viní might leave. I think Tchouaméni's leaving if Rodri's coming to Madrid. I've always said this. If Rodri's going to go, Tchouaméni's going to leave. That's just how it's going to go. But I don't know. That's what I think of it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. This is just an interesting topic. And let me know if you want more videos like this. There's little videos of me talking about certain clubs. I'm going to start doing a lot more, especially when we can't film on the weekends. But yeah, I will catch you guys in the next video. Catch y'all later.